wasn't Christmas or my birthday. Yet someone had bought me a ticket on the United States line ship Zenobia, leaving tomorrow on a world cruise. I wondered if it was a gift or an invitation for trouble. I had a right to be curious. Get me the United States lines, please. The reservations.
Right away, Mr. Lanyard.
United States Lines Reservation Department, Clark speaking.
Do your records show the name of the person who made the reservation for Michael Lanyard on the SS Zenobia, sailing tomorrow? Oh, wait a minute. Stateroom C.
One moment, please.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. The reservation was made by a Mr. Michael Lanyard. Can you give him a message, sir?
Yeah. What is it?
His passport must be checked here no later than 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I'll see he takes care of it. Thanks. My benefactor had bought me a trip, and I wasn't going to turn it down. The Zenobia is an elegant ship. When I came aboard, I began making inquiries. I got nowhere. My benefactor would just have to find me. The girl sitting next to me was Phyllis Bren. She was pretty, but like I said, I had checked. Phyllis was married, and her husband was with her. And I saw a new face. A very interesting face.
May I have a light?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was nothing at all. What's a four-letter word for osculation?
Kiss?
I think maybe you're right.
What's the six-letter word for 8 o'clock tonight?
Dinner.
You're on.
Hello, Mike.
All I'm glad to see you. What are you doing aboard? Vacation?
Well, my passport says vacation, but the trip is business.
I hope what I'm thinking is wrong.
You mean the ticket, of course.
Okay. I walked in with my eyes wide open. I knew it wasn't something for nothing, but I didn't expect the customs department to buy me a trip around the world. What's the pitch?
Well, maybe I should have warned you, Mike, but there just wasn't time. I didn't breathe easily till I saw you come aboard this afternoon. This still may end up as a vacation. The department only has a hunch.
A hunch with you fellows is normally a documented 5-foot library.
Not this time. As you know, throughout the world, we have a lot of spotters. There's been a rumor for a long time.
And what does the rumor say?
That a certain playboy king wants to bring his jewelry into the United States against the day when he'll no longer be welcome in his own country.
What makes you believe the rumor this time?
Well, it was clear enough. It even named the amount of the jewelry to be brought in. $1 million.
1 million?
The rumor even named this ship.
What do you want me to do?
Keep your eyes open. Catch the smuggler, and the government will pay you 20% of the value of the stuff. That's one of our laws, too.
Sounds like Arabian Nights. But 20% of 1 million runs into money. Okay, I'll keep my eyes open.
Well, in that case, I'll make plans to leave the ship at Honolulu and fly back to the States. The boss is going to be awfully glad that you're going along. As for me, Mike, thanks.
That's all right, Oren.
It's been a wonderful evening. But I have one more question. What's a 9-letter word for 10 a.m.?
Breakfast.
Thank you. Good night.
Night. She was lovely and very clever. It seemed to me Alma was playing a game. I wasn't too sure of her rules. This was going to be a long cruise, and I knew that if it was a game, sooner or later I was bound to catch on. Meanwhile, the best thing for me to do was to watch for a pitch that could be a slow curve. On most ships, things only begin happening after midnight. I headed for the bar, because if anything was happening, it would be there. I kept remembering Orin's rumor, a playboy king, $1 million worth of smuggled jewels. The rumor had even named this ship.
We seem to be the only travelers awake.
That's right. Thank you. Stateroom C. The bar was deserted, except for the bartender and one guest. Nothing else was happening.
I am Ahmed Hussein Cantelli. I deal in costume jewelry. My card.
I'm Michael Lanyard. I'm sorry I don't carry cards. Jewelry reproductions. Sounds like an interesting occupation.
I travel around the world, picking up pieces of jewelry in Europe, Africa, India. Pieces that can be copied and reproduced in sufficient volume to finance trips around the world. Round and round. It has no beginning and no end.
You managed to make it sound pretty dull.
Let us say routine, Mr. Lanyard. What is your profession?
Oh, I haven't any. I'm just along for the ride.
You have a sense of humor, Mr. Lanyard. You know, I long ago learned to appreciate people with a sense of humor.
Oh, that's nice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to catch up on some sleep.
I'll look for you tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Lanyard.
Good night. The next day, I introduced Cantelli to Alma. With stops at Hong Kong, Colombo, and Port Said, our friendship with Cantelli developed quickly. Alma loved his occupation, and he admired her. I didn't mind because both Alma and Cantelli interested me. It was in Port Said that he picked up a phony bracelet. He explained it could be copied. Alma liked it, and Cantelli gave it to her. He told her it was worthless, but she said she liked the way it glittered.
You've often spoken of your admiration for jewelry. Would you like to see my collection?
Michael, would you mind?
No, go ahead. Well, you too, Mike. You come along, I'll show you both. Fine.
Oh, they're beautiful.
You must drive the customs crazy when you get back to the States.
No, Mr. Lanyard. The Customs Service well knows the difference between a diamond and a piece of glass or paste. I've never had a moment's trouble with them. They've come to know me well.
Mr. Cantelli, when we get to our next port, may I come with you while you look for the things you like?
I regret no. That wouldn't be wise for you or for me.
Well, I don't see what harm it would do.
You heard what the man said. Thanks for showing us these things, Mr. Cantelli. They're very revealing.
Revealing, Mr. Lanyard?
For lack of a better word, revealing. The next stop was Alexandria. Later, we visited a cafe. Cantelli received a package and opened it immediately.
Oh, that's beautiful. If this were real, how much would it be worth?
I don't know. $1 million, perhaps.
But how much is this worth?
Perhaps $20.
Would you sell it to me for that?
If you like it, I give it to you.
Well, thank you. Keep it for me, will you, Michael?
Sure.
You spoke of your wish to come with me on my search for jewelry. I think here it would be quite safe if you'd like to come along.
Would you mind?
No, go ahead. I was sorry the jewel wasn't real, because everything would have been over. But I know glass, and I know diamonds. This was glass. While Alma went on her adventure, I picked up the check. I know the city of Alexandria, so I decided to walk to the dock. I took a quiet side street. I wanted to think. Maybe I had been wrong about Alma and Cantelli. Maybe they were both on the level. I had to stop thinking when a man asked me for a match. As I lit his cigarette, the light suddenly went out. Always make sure your back is towards a wall. And in Alexandria, never take a side street at night. The next day, I was none the worse for wear and tear. I tried to puzzle out why two men would work me over in an alley and then steal nothing. Maybe it was my aching head that caused it, or maybe it was just an idea. But suddenly I knew why I had been the fall guy. Only instead of striking out, I was still at bat. I had learned the rules, and I was almost ready to make a bank deposit of 20% of $1 million.
Hi.
Hi.
Michael, I'm terribly sorry about what happened to you. Are you sure you feel all right?
Well enough.
You sound disagreeable.
I am disagreeable.
Did they take the necklace that Mr. Cantelli gave me?
They took nothing at all.
I can understand they're not taking this, but didn't they even take your money?
Not even my money. Apparently all they wanted to do was to give me a good working over.
You don't believe that.
Alma, child, I don't believe anything.
I heard about the trouble you had last night.
Oh.
I'm glad that you're well, that it wasn't serious.
Thanks.
It's all very strange. Whoever did it didn't steal a thing.
I don't understand it.
I think I do. Whoever it was must have seen you give me the necklace and figured it was valuable. The rest was easy.
But you said nothing was stolen.
Well, that's just it. They must have looked at the stone and realized it was worthless. Then I guess they were so disappointed they didn't look any further.
Well, that's incredible. Darling, you might have been killed.
I don't think they were planning murder. A day before we arrived in New York, I arranged to have a radiogram sent to myself. I gave the radio operator two names, Alma Ferenzi and Ahmed Hussein Cantelli. I told him to deliver it to me quickly and to leave it unsigned.
Aye, then. Next to the last.
We were interrupted by the radiogram I had sent myself. I tried to play it straight as I read it. I must have been convincing because Cantelli became very interested.
Nothing wrong, I hope.
No, nothing wrong. Do you mind if we finish the game later?
Not at all.
Thanks. Dancing?
Mm-hmm. But I was waiting for you.
I was busy.
Doing what?
Playing a game with Cantelli.
Playing a game with Cantelli? With only 2 nights left of our cruise? Oh, Michael, I could hate you for that. Almost.
You look beautiful when you're angry. You're all dressed up like a Christmas tree. There's another new pin?
Mm-hmm. Do you like it?
Very much. Where's the hunk of glass Cantelli gave you in Alexandria?
Oh, that. Oh, I lost it. I was leaning over the rail, and I guess it came loose, and I dropped overboard.
You must have been leaning over the rail quite a way.
No. No, it just came loose. I don't know how it happened. What difference does it make anyway? It was only a piece of glass. Why are you worried about it?
I'm not worried about it, Alma. I hope you're not.
Darling, I promised Mr. Brenn a dance. I'll only be a few minutes. Where will you be?
Right here.
All right.
If I was right, things were about to happen. By now, Cantelli would have read the radiogram. He would lose no time telling Alma that it mentioned both of their names. I knew it would force them into fast action. Then I knew I would at last recover the smuggled jewel. Also, 20% of its value. I figured I'd earned it.
Mr. Lanyard.
Well, hello, Cantelli.
I want to talk to you. Oh. You left behind you a crumpled radiogram. I allowed myself the liberty of looking at it. My name was there.
Oh, yes, I remember. Alma Ferenzi and Ahmed Hussein Cantelli.
Why was my name there?
Because I made some inquiries in Alexandria.
Inquiries about what, Mr. Lanyard?
About whether you and Alma Ferenzi had had any dealings with a very important and wealthy person in the Near East.
Mr. Lanyard, I don't think I like you very much.
I don't think I like you at all, Mr. Cantelli. But I'll give you some advice. Don't try and use that gun that's in your pocket. I remembered Oren's words. We can't afford publicity. I headed for my stateroom.
Michael, I was waiting for you. You see, I had to talk to you. I had to talk to you alone.
Well, we're alone now. What was it you wanted to talk about?
Don't you know?
Yeah. That radiogram that Cantelli read.
You fool!
Alma must have panicked, and I was sure the jewel had to be close by. I wasn't playing fall guy any longer. It was her move, and she said...
Angry?
No,
I'm sorry I lost my temper.
forget it.
I guess my pride was hurt.
I'm sorry.
Michael, last night you said something about a radiogram. I was so furious at you, I didn't listen. What was it you said?
It wasn't important.
It was something about Mr. Cantelli.
Well, have you seen him this morning? Oh, hello.
Good morning. If I had seen this last night would not have happened. I thought you were trying to blackmail me because of a little indiscretion with Miss Ferenzi. If I'd known who you really were...
Do you think I was trying to blackmail you, too?
I'd rather forget about the whole thing.
I'm sure you both would. But that's life. It just can't be. Don't you think it's about time we all had a serious talk?
Michael, what's this all about?
Would either of you like a drink?
What's on your mind?
You know, in a way, I'm disappointed in both of you.
I don't follow you.
You will. So will your partner. For some time now, I've been onto the little act you both perform so well. But I figured that sooner or later you'd make a mistake. Even the greatest performances have flaws.
You know, for years I've known about the man who carried a wolf medallion. I must confess you're a very clever man, Mr. Lanyard. I don't understand a word you've said.
Let's stop playing games, huh? Alma, you're not very smart. It took me only a few minutes to find it after you planted it here last night. Oh, the plan was simple. The boat docks in New York. The necklace remains here. You go through customs without any trouble. Then just before the next voyage, you come aboard as a visitor, pick up the necklace, go back ashore. Visitors don't go through customs.
All right. So you know.
I've known since Alexandria. I was slugged so the phony necklace could be replaced with the real thing. You know, that king's going to be very annoyed at the poor way you both handled his problem.
Michael, listen to me. We're being paid $200,000 for this. We could split it 3 ways. Nobody will ever know.
No, Alma. You're very wrong. The customs men will be waiting for you and Cantelli with open arms.
Except for one thing, Mr. Lanyard. You have the necklace. You talk about a king. I don't know. You talk of customs men. That must mean smuggling. I'm afraid if that's true, that among other things, you are a smuggler. I advise you to take Alma's offer. Otherwise, proving the necklace is ours might be difficult for you. And embarrassing.
Can't tell me. I admire you. Maybe you're right.
It was a lot of diamond, and it was also a lot of publicity. Unfortunately, the wrong kind.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to save us all a lot of embarrassment. I wonder what you can tell the king. I wonder if he'll believe you.